All right, so in this video, we want to find an equation for this function, and we want to find a cosine equation specifically. Now, I know this looks like a sine function because it starts at the bottom. We need to find the cosine equation of this function. So a cosine equation starts at the top. So we're going to assume that the starting point of this function is right over there, which is going to have an x value right in the middle of these 2 points, which is going to be an x value of 0.5. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find the amplitude of this function. So we can tell that this is the max 5, this is the min -5. You can tell that the amplitude of this function is 5 from just looking at it. But if you want to do it the formula method, amplitude is max minus min divided by 2. We should get an amplitude of 5 when using this formula. So my max is 5, my min is -5, and I'm dividing it by 2, which is just 10 over 2, which, like I said, your amplitude is 5. The next thing you want to do is you want to find your equation of axis, which is basically your midpoint. And the formula is max plus min over 2. Now, again, this one's very easy to tell that it's at 0. But let's do it in the calculations really quick, show it to you. So 5 plus -5 divided by 2, which is basically 0 over 2, which is 0. So y equals to 0 is my equation of axis. The next thing you want to do is you want to find your period of this function. The period is just the distance of one wave. So you can go from here to here, which would be the same distance as here to here. Sine wave and a cosine wave will generally have the same period. I'm just going to go from here to here, which is one sine wave technically. I know that the period is 2. So then I can find my k value. And if you're doing it in radians, k is 2 pi divided by a period. In this case, it's 2 pi divided by 2, which is pi. So now we want to write, now that we found all the key things of this function, we want to write out the function. So your basic cosine equation is y equals to a cos k x minus d plus c, where a is basically your amplitude. Remember, we're starting over here. This is a positive cosine function, so our amplitude is going to be positive, and our amplitude is positive 5. K value we just found over here, it's pi. This graph is phase shift because, like I said, a cos graph should normally start at the axis over here. This is phase shifted to the right by 0.5 units. So I have x minus 0.5 because in terms of transformations, this signifies a shift to the right by 0.5 units. And c is my equation of axis, which is a 0 in this case. So I don't even have a c value. So basically, this is my final equation of that graph.